Let's talk about the Oduduwa Republic agitation. What are your thoughts about what's going on?
Yeah. The thing is, in the first place, Sunday Igboho started also to follow their path, killings and attacking people that are not from the region, which is criminal. And immediately he was warned and issued a lot of maybe warnings or state whatever. I noticed he mellowed down and he began to look at it as a normal Republican agitation than a criminal agitation. So that now shows some level of pragmatism in his own approach to some extent, most recently. Again, if you look at that, you will see that it still falls back to the fact that devolution is needed. You can have Oduduwa Nation. It's not a bad thing. In Nigeria, you can have Biafra Republic. It's not a bad thing. In Nigeria, you can have Arewa Republic. It's not a bad thing, but all of them are Nigerians. They are in Nigeria operating a common economy with different interests, different religion, different tribal identities, but with different interests, yet they are all forming a common members of a commonwealth called Nigeria. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. So I don't altogether condemn that agitation, provided is for a meaningfully restructured or reconfigured. I don't want to call it restructured. For a meaningfully reconfigured Nigeria, is fantastic. But a situation whereby it is also for separation, then is a joke. You shouldn't deceive people. Nigeria cannot break. It's a lie. It's not when you are trying to start agitation that will last for 50 years. Even the South Sudan, they are giving an example. South Sudan has been fighting since the beginning of last century. They were fighting for separation. Eventually, China came to their aid. That time that they got independent, China backed them up and lobbied for them. Why did China lobby for them? Because of the oil in Juba. Why did China love oil in Juba? Because that oil is going to service their own enterprise within the East African region, from Tanzania down to Djibouti, where they have military presence. Immediately they remove the country and have that. They only empower the elites to enjoy the oil money and leave the country into tatters while they take the oil. Who is the president of South Sudan today? We can't answer. So this is the problem.
Okay. I want to clarify something. To the best of my knowledge, I believe this agitation started, at least for the Oduduwa Republic, it started with the incessant attacks in most communities in the region.
Especially the Hausa communities.
Not necessarily the Hausa communities, but then I know it started. It's the agitation to break away started because of the government's inability to handle the security situation in the region. Again, you're a vocal supporter of this administration. Do you think if they handle what's going on in the agitations of this secessionist group, the issue of secession may die off? Do you think if they handled it any different?
Yes.
I'm saying this because the situation in Oyo State, in Iganga, was what made Sunday Igboho somewhat popular. It gave him lots of popularity and he has thousands of followers. He kept screaming because of the attacks people in the region kept having. They said it's by armed Fulani herdsmen. So that's what he decided, that since the government cannot protect the people, he would take it upon himself to protect the region. So I'm throwing the question to you now. Do you think if this administration had handled security any different, this secession agitation from the Oduduwa Republic may not have come in? We may decide to say it's baseless or it doesn't hold much water, but it is there. And every day it gains momentum. And we've had reports of them trying to collaborate with the IPOB agitation. We don't know how true it is. I cannot verify if that information is correct, but a lot is going on. So I just want to know your thoughts in that regard.
Yes. Regarding the herdsmen crisis, I don't want to call Fulani. I want to say herdsmen. Because herdsmen, there are a lot of people that are herding cattle. I have many Yoruba friends and Igbo friends that are herdsmen. So herdsmen and farmers crisis is an age-long tradition. And with the modern era, I don't believe we should continue to have open grazing. Once you have open grazing where food crisis is becoming higher because people are too much, that land is becoming scarce, you will always have problem. That is why I advocated for ranching. From the beginning, I don't support open grazing. What Sunday Igboho was able to leverage is the fact that there is constant clash between the herdsmen and the farmers in the area that resulted in insecurity. And he was able to rise up and start sacking the Fulani community in that area because he said they are predominantly herdsmen that are attacking their farms. That's how it started. Now, should the government take approach of ranching whereby all the Fulanis and the herders that are non-Fulanis have opportunity to create a land where they ranch their cattle and animals, and then allow farmers to be able to farm in their side, we won't have this problem. We won't have produced people like Sunday Igboho to be insulting Oni of Ife, to be insulting Tinubu. Just imagine this kind of person. It's not good, so we won't produce some miscreant to rise up and become irresponsible citizens attacking our senior elder statesmen. You can disagree with elders, but you don't insult them. You can disagree with the state, that the principle that upon which a state is governed, but it doesn't make sense for you to be confrontational. So we wouldn't have those kind of uprising. So I believe government should pay closer attention to ranching. I saw recently they are talking, I even published today that I didn't agree with it, that they are talking about grazing route. Grazing route cannot work. You are still going to amplify the problem. Grazing route may have worked maybe in the middle of the last century, but not now. We have grown so much, the number of population is so much. So land is becoming scarce because food is becoming scarce. And a situation whereby you don't define boundaries between the farmer and the herder, you are creating further problem. So I think ranching will have solved that problem. We wouldn't have Sunday Igboho or even in Nnamdi Kanu having opportunity to be saying that sack Fulani here, kill Fulani, because that's what he's leveraging to. So ranching will have solved the problem.